discuss about the part 1 of the speaking section. Since each and every module of the IELTS exam, entire exam is unpredictable. Only section 1 of speaking test is somewhat what you can prepare well in advance, although IELTS do not accept memorized answer, but still you can prepare yourself that in what way you need to answer the questions that are generally asked in the part 1 of the speaking exam. So we will begin with the looking at this slide, what is the part 1 of the speaking test and how we need to decode it. So now I'm going to share my screen and we will look into the what comes in the exam, and then after later on we will discuss how you need to prepare and what you can do to get the maximum out of this speaking test. Let me know once you see my screen. I believe my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vishal, thank you. Okay, so we begin with first speaking section of the IELTS. This is a live session on the given topic. It would focus on preparing candidates for the initial part of the IELTS speaking test. This section is very crucial as it sets the tone for the rest of the speaking exam. Like, it can be seen as your first impression to the examiner, right? And everyone knows that first impression plays a huge role in achieving the overall band score. So what is the structure of the speaking test? The speaking test lasts approximately 11 to 14 minutes and is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is, like I told you, it's your introduction and interview. Part 2 is a cue card, which is also known as individual long turnaround, and part 3 is a two-way discussion. Now, in this session, we will focus only on part 1. The first section is a semi-structured interview where the examiner asks you general questions about yourself, your family, studies, work, hobbies, and interest. You can expect questions that are similar to, like, tell me about your hometown, what do you like to do in your leisure time, do you enjoy studying or working in your field, whatever you are doing, whether you are studying or working. Accordingly, he'll ask you the question, what are your travel plans for the future? These are some common questions. So the purpose of part 1 of the speaking test is it assesses your basic spoken English skills in everyday situations. The examiner evaluates your fluency, grammar and vocabulary, pronunciation, and non-verbal communications like your gesture and posture and facial expressions. So the basic common tips for part 1 are, you need to be well prepared for the common topics, like anticipate, you need to be well prepared for the potential questions that are going to come, and you need to rehearse your responses beforehand. Like I told you, this is the only part in the entire IELTS test in which you can pre-prepare yourself. But it should be very clear in your mind that IELTS do not accept memorized answer. So you need to answer using your brain of a particular question that the examiner asks you. You don't need to memorize anything, because once we memorize anything, more than our mind, our tongue speaks. So that should not be the case. You should be clear with the question, but your answer should be real time. You should speak naturally and authentically, be yourself, and avoid scripted answers. So do not learn any answer in case of IELTS, whether it is speaking exam or a writing exam. You need to show your reality, show your real personality, engage with the examiner, and express your opinions and interest. You can share any thought that comes into your mind. He is not going to judge you on the basis of your selection or on the basis of your knowledge. He will only judge you on the basis of the language skills that you have within yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification. If you don't understand a question, politely ask for rephrasing. Like, sometimes it happens that there is a question that maybe our mind does not accept it at once. So there is no harm in asking him again if you want him to repeat the question, or you can ask him that I think I miss out on something, or I do not know the meaning of this word. Can you please rephrase it for me, or can you please elaborate it a bit more? So while asking questions, do not hesitate to do anything like that. You can ask as much as you can, because while asking also you are showcasing your English language skills, right? It is very good to maintain eye contact. Looking here and there reflects your body language and negativity. While if you are confident enough in your speaking skills, it is very easy to maintain eye contact, and it is a positive sign. The examiner thinks that you are confident and engaged. Now, what is the format of this speaking section 1? So it is an interviewer driven test, like you will meet an real examiner in this case. Think of it as a casual conversation, but with the examiner guiding the dialogue through general questions about your life. You don't need to think a lot about this exam. You need to think it like it is just another personal interview. A person is going to ask you certain questions and you need to answer it. That is it. You will come across similar and familiar topics. Expect inquiries about your hometown, your family, studies, work. What are your hobbies, your interests? These topics are chosen to spark natural conversation and showcase your everyday English fluency. Question types: a mix of open-ended questions like tell me about your job, and close-ended questions like do you enjoy cooking will be asked. Be prepared to elaborate on your answer and provide supporting details. Never answer in one word. Like if he had asked you do you enjoy cooking, never say only yes. You need to elaborate your answer. Now, what is the purpose of this exam? It assesses basic spoken English skills. The examiner evaluates your fluency, grammar and vocabulary, pronunciation and non-verbal communication. Gauge your ability to handle simple conversations. How you converse in everyday situations is crucial for academic or professional settings. Set the stage for the entire test. A strong performance in part 1 can boost your confidence and establish a positive rapport with the examiner for the remaining sections. So in general, it can be said that in part 1, he is going to ask you general questions about yourself in order to make you comfortable. And if you have planned or prepared yourself well for the part 1, definitely it will boost your confidence, and a good performance in part 1 will help you do much better in part 2 and part 3. And in the end, it will help you develop a good overall band score in the speaking test. Now, what is the assessment criteria in case of speaking test? So first, on the basis of what the examiner is going to give you bands, number 1 is fluency. Speak smoothly and consistently without long pauses or hesitation. See, do not try to speak too fast or too slow or too loud. Speak in a particular flow. It should be very smooth and consistent. You should not take long pauses, or you should not hesitate a lot. You should work on your grammar and vocabulary. Use grammatically correct sentences and a diverse vocabulary range. Avoid basic errors and show some complexity in your language. Pronunciation: speak clearly and intelligibly so the examiner can easily understand your speech. Maintain eye contact, use appropriate gestures, and project a confident presence. Now, what are the types of questions that are asked in section 1? So part 1 throws an array of questions your way, testing your ability to converse about familiar topics with ease. Let's break down the common types you might encounter and discuss tips for tackling them. There are the open-ended questions are like, tell me about your hometown. What are your hobbies and interests? What do you like to do in your free time? Prepare some engaging stories or anecdotes beforehand. Don't give one-word answers. Elaborate on your points, provide details, and express your opinions and feelings. Show enthusiasm, maintain the conversation flow. You should not be dull. You should be energetic on the day of exam. You should be confident enough. You should be well dressed. See, all these things at the end will help you make a great first impression. And part one of the speaking section is all about your first impression to the examiner. There are certain yes or no questions as well, like do you enjoy cooking? Have you ever been abroad? Do you play any sports? Don't simply answer with a yes or no. Briefly explain your reasons for your answers. Even if it is a simple yes, this demonstrates your ability to connect ideas and expand on basic prompts. What WH questions like why do you like your job? What qualities do you admire in your friends? Where would you like to travel in the future? Analyze the WH word to understand the specific information the examiner is asking. Provide informative answers that directly addresses the question and showcase your analytical thinking skills. So, for example, examiner can ask you if he likes your answer. So he'll cross question you again. Really, what's your favorite dish to cook? Tell me more about your last trip abroad. Why did you choose that particular sport? So make sure that the examiner converse with you a lot. The more time you spend in talking with the examiner and the more interest the examiner takes in your speaking will in the end help you gain a higher band score. Be prepared for the examiner to probe deeper based on your initial answers. This is your chance to showcase your conversational skills and provide additional details and insights. Listen actively to the follow-up questions and respond accordingly. Do not feel negative if the examiner is asking you more questions. He is trying to gain more vocabulary from your end. He is quite interested in your speaking skills. That is why he's asking you more and more questions. And in the end, that will definitely help you get a good band. So converse as much as you can. You can like go into the deep talking of a particular deep thinking of a particular topic, and then you can discuss your things with the examiner. If he's again asking you cross questions on the particular topic, that means it is a positive sign. So you need to expand on your yes or no answers, elaborate with supporting details, like don't just say yes I like cooking. Explain what you enjoy about it, your favorite dishes to cook, or a memorable cooking experience. So you can give your views as much as you want. Connect your answers to personal experiences. Share an anecdote related to the topic that showcases your ability to narrate and engage the examiner. Express your opinion and offer reasons. Even for yes no questions like do you play sports, go beyond a simple affirmation and why you do or don't, what sport you prefer and why it interests you. You can just tell him everything whatever you know about the question. So it will showcase your grammar skills as well. Use descriptive vocabulary instead of good, say wonderful or exciting or memorable. Like you can use synonyms. This shows a wider vocabulary range and adds detail to your answer. Do not use a single word again and again. Try using its synonyms, try using different words, try using idioms, phrases, whatever comes into your mind during the course of exam, try using those words. Employ complex sentences structures. Go beyond simple sentences. Use conjunctions like but, because, or therefore to connect ideas and demonstrate fluency. Ask clarifying questions. If a question feels vague, ask for specifics to stimulate a more elaborate response. This shows initiative and active listening skills. Importance of natural and confident speaking. See, one thing, make sure one thing very clear in your mind, that it is good to use a different accent, but try to be natural. Because we are Indians and we speak in a particular format, and that is totally acceptable in case of IELTS. So don't try to be someone you are not. Authenticity shines through and makes your conversation more engaging. Relax and speak calmly. Avoid rushing or speaking too fast. Maintain a natural pace and project confidence through your voice and demeanor. Don't be afraid of pauses. It's okay to take a brief moment to gather your thoughts or formulate your answer. It is totally acceptable to think. So if you are thinking and answering, it will help you rather than speaking in very quickly or misinterpreting the question in order to answer very quickly, it will not help you in any way. This shows you are thinking critically and speaking deliberately. If you are taking time to think and then speaking, because it is wisely said that you cannot take your words back. You need to use a range of vocabulary and grammar, incorporate synonyms and antonyms, not just in case of speaking exam, but synonyms and antonyms will help you in your writing exam as well. Don't repeat the same words. Show you know a variety of vocabulary related to the topic at hand. Use different verb tenses. Avoid just the present tense. Go beyond like I like or to I used to enjoy or I am starting to appreciate. This demonstrates grammatical dexterity. Employ idiomatic expressions. Use natural English phrases like a piece of cake or hit the nail on the head to add color and show cultural awareness. To get a feel of for part one of the IELTS speaking test, let's jump into a live mock interaction. I can play the role of examiner, throwing some typical questions your way. Feel free to volunteer or nominate others to answer, and we can all provide feedback and discuss the responses together. So here are certain questions that if you would like to answer, I would love to hear. So can anyone tell me about your hometown? Anyone? Anyone from the team? Dushyant, Vishal, anyone would like to answer? Tell me about your hometown. Pearl, Urvashi, Kavi, Adi, Ankit, anyone? Saklan, Ankita? Okay. If you want to write down the answers, you can write it down in the chat box as well, and then we can discuss it later on. But please try and speak, guys. It will definitely boost your confidence if you can speak in front of 14, 15 of us. You can easily speak in front of the examiner as well. Anyone, if you want to try, if you want to answer any of the questions written in the screen, please feel free to answer. Okay, let's move ahead. So the questions are, tell me about your hometown. What do you like to do in your free time? Do you enjoy studying or working in your field? Why or why not? These are the questions that are generally asked. Like, what are your travel plans for the future? Describe a person you admire and why. Have you ever had to overcome a challenge? What did you learn from it? Remember, treat this is a real test scenario. Speak naturally, confidently, and showcase your everyday English skills. You can write down these questions and you can connect with me. Don't hesitate to ask me for clarification or pause to gather your thoughts. Right? I'm here to help you guys. And whatever you are speaking, I'm going to give you a constructive feedback. And definitely you will learn from each other's experience. Like speaking on regular basis will help you gain the better knowledge of what are your positives and what are the areas you need to work upon. Common mistakes that generally people do in their speaking exam and how to avoid them. Like what we do is we overthink answers. The questions in speaking exam are very simple and you need to answer without getting into the deep knowledge of anything. Like he is not going to ask you tricky questions, he's asking you simple questions in general ways. So analyzing the question for hidden meanings, hesitating and taking too long to respond. Trust your first instinct. Go with the response that feels natural and authentic. Remember, it's a conversation, not a philosophical debate. Tip for this: prepare some anecdotes or talking points beforehand for common topics, but avoid scripted answers. Be flexible and adapt to the flow of the conversation. Giving too short or irrelevant responses, like one word answers, lack of elaboration, going off on tangents unrelated to the question. provide details, example, and personal insights, expand on your initial answers, showing the examiner your ability to develop ideas and engage in a conversation. Actively listen to the question and identify keywords. Connect your response to the specific information the examiner seeks. Practice expanding simple answers into mini stories or explanation. Going off topic, most of us do this mistake that we generally talk about different things that are not asked in the question. So we not need to do that. Derailing the conversation with unrelated tangents, introducing new topics without prompting. Stay focused on the question at hand. Gently guide the conversation back on track. If you were, of course, listen carefully to the examiner's follow-up questions and respond accordingly. Practice yes and techniques. If you want to mention something tangential, briefly acknowledge it, but connect it back to the original topic to demonstrate your ability to navigate back to the core discussion. Managing nervousness, stuttering, speaking too fast, forgetting grammar or vocab due to anxiety. You can take deep breaths and maintain a calm demeanor. Project confidence through eye contact and positive body language. Remember, the examiner wants to see your natural English skills, not perfect fluency. Please be real while making answers while speaking. You don't need to pretend to be someone that you are not. Speak whatever comes into your mind without hesitating, without thinking too much. Practice mock interviews with friends or family to get comfortable speaking spontaneously about familiar topics. Visualize yourself succeeding in the test to boost your confidence. Now, how you need to enhance your fluency and coherence? You can do recording and you can re-listen to your recording and self-evaluate yourself. Speak about part 1 style topics and analyze your recordings. Identify areas for improvement like hesitation, filler words, or pronunciation. Listen actively, pay attention to your delivery, clarity, and overall flow. Note down strengths and aspects that need refinement. If you're looking for feedback, you can share your recordings with trusted friends or tutors for constructive criticism and suggestions. You can share your recordings with me as well, and I will definitely give you a proper feedback. Create visuals for common topics in your mind, outlining key points, examples, and supporting details. This helps organize your thoughts for a logical flow. Use words like furthermore, however, or consequently to connect ideas and guide the listener through your response. Summarize and repeat. Briefly recap key points at the end to ensure clarity and emphasize on your main message. So by doing these things like using mind maps or transition and summarizing and repeating your things, you can make the examiner understand what you want to say. Now, you can, while doing practice, you can read aloud, practice reading fiction or articles with focus on intonation and natural pauses. This translates well into spoken English. Join online forums, connect with our other IELTS test taker to share experiences, practice conversation, and offer mutual feedback. Like you can connect with your friends, with your batchmates. You can generally talk with each other, and you both can provide feedbacks to each other. Don't be afraid to pause. People generally think that we need to speak in a flow, but while thinking, it is natural that sometimes the word does not come to your mind directly. So that is what is said, that hesitation is natural. So you can take small pauses, not a long one, to strategically gather your thoughts and avoid filler words. So that was the basic idea behind the speaking section. Now the floor is open for you all, and you can ask me anything related to your speaking section 1 of the speaking test, and I will try and help you out in this section. And I will give you certain common questions as well after the session that you need to answer me. You can answer on our WhatsApp group, or you can answer here also, right? So anyone has any question related to section 1 of the speaking test, please feel free to ask me. Dushant, I got your answer. My hometown is in center of India, known as Orange City, Nagpur. Okay, fine. Anyone else? Urvashi, Pearl, Kavi, Adi, Ankit, Mohammed Saklan, Ankita and Monica. You have any question, or like if you are clear about the speaking section, part one of the speaking test, please let me know and we can discuss a bit more on the same topic. Okay, Ankita. Okay, Ankit, sorry. Sir, in part one questions, we have to speak about the answers in how much sentences. So it depends, Ankita. It is absolutely on your part. You can speak for, like, if a topic is in your interest, you can speak for a longer period of time as well. Remember, speak one part one of the speaking test is for around 4 to 5 minutes, and make sure you speak for the maximum time. The examiner's duty is to ask you certain questions, but it is up to you that if you speak for a longer period, he will ask you less questions, and that is also helpful in some cases, right? So if a question comes up and you are aware about the facts and figure of that question, you can speak for a longer period as well. Yes, Mohammed, you need to practice on daily basis. Like I'm asking in sessions again, you need to come up on screen and you need to share your thoughts. So while speaking on public platform like this, you will definitely, it will help you boost the confidence, and it will help your speaking skills as well. You all are typing your messages in the chat box, but it would be even better if you come onto the screen and speak. It will help you only, not me, right? So Ankita, there is no negative marking, but if you are using correct words, if you are speaking in the correct format, only then they will give you a higher band. There is no negative marking in the entire IELTS test, right? Anyone else has any question? If you are hesitating in asking question in English, आप हिंदी में भी यहाँ पे बोल सकते हो, right? Rather than writing, लिखने से अच्छा आप मेरे से डायरेक्ट पूछो. It will यार पता help you. आप पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म पे बोलना सीखोगे ना, आपको इंटरनेशनल कंट्री में जाना है, हमको पूरी दुनिया से नए लोगों से बात करनी है. So please बोलना चालू करो. It is very easy to type a message, but it is very difficult to talk. Yes, Kavi.
No question.
Okay, no question. Okay. So part one is clear to everyone.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So there are 5 basic questions that most of the examiners ask in part one of the speaking section. So I'm telling you the questions. The question number one that the examiner will ask you is, what is your name? So what we generally do is, the correct answer is my name is, and then you have to speak your name. Many people also answer it in this way, that myself, the particular name. That is incorrect. You need to answer my name is whatever your name is, right? And the second question that the examiner is going to ask is, what can I call you? So again, people generally say a one word answer, that you can call me Raman, or you can call me by my name. So just make sure that you do not give one word answers. You need to give answers in a proper way, at least a one line answer. Like from, I would say, you can address me by my first name, Raman, or you can call me what my friends or my family used to is generally calls me. That is my first name and it is Raman, right? So you need to give elaborative answer. Third question is going to ask you about your where are you from, or tell me about your hometown, a common question. And never just tell the name of your town. You need to elaborate a bit more. You need to speak about your town. You need to tell what is by which things your city is known as. Like my town Kanpur is famous for its leather merchandise. So I always Whenever I tell about Kanpur, I generally say that I'm from the industrial town that is famous for its leather merchandise. The name of the city is Kanpur. So you have to elaborate your answer. Next, he will ask you, do you work or do you study? Don't just say study or work, elaborate. If you are studying, you can say, currently I'm pursuing this course, and after this, I have a plan to do this. Or if you are working, you can say you need to address your complete post and also the company name with which you are working. And lastly, he will ask you any other question related to your family, related to your home. So you need to answer that. He will never ask you whether you are living in a house, flat, or apartment. He will always say, tell me about your home. So home has three categories. Number one is house, number two is flat, and three is apartment. So you need to be very clear whatever you are going to tell him. If you live in a single house, you need to tell him that I live in a house, it is my parental property, or if it is your property, then you can say in that way. And you have to elaborate. My house is quite big. It has 5 rooms, it has 4 rooms, whatever it has, right? So don't just answer in one word. Always speak a longer answers. Fine. And then he will sometimes what happens is the examiner thinks that you have memorized your answers. So most of the time he will ask you questions in a particular pattern. But if he is not, if he is asking you random questions altogether, make sure that you speak in the same flow that you were doing in your the first 5 questions, the introduction part. This will enable him to understand that you have not memorized any answer. IELTS do not accept memorized answers. You need to be spontaneous. You need to think and then answer each and every question. He can ask the same question in two ways, and you need to be smart enough to answer each question differently, right? Without changing your thoughts, you just need to change your words. Fine, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, Kavi. Vishal, Monica, Ankita, Saklen. If you have any question, see, speaking and writing are the only exams in which you don't have numbers in your hand. Whatever you are going to do on the day of exam, and accordingly you will be judged, right? No matter how much good writing skills you have or how better speaking skills you have, but in front of examiner, the way you are going to speak, the way you are going to phrase your answers, only that will help you, right? So keep, my only tip, the best tip for speaking is practice as much as you can, right? Thank you, Monica.
Hello,
Yes, Vishal.
sir. I can't attend whole lecture, sir, because I am in company, so I can't attend all your. But I only listen your main points. That it's good, very good, sir. But I just want to ask you, sir. But how many months this course are paid or non-paid, sir? Means.
See, Vishal, we are offering IELTS for free, and there is no such course for months, right? If you
Oh, oh,
practice genuinely for 30, 40, 45 days, and
yes.
you believe that you have the basic instinct of English language, I believe
Oh,
it is
yes, yes,
very easy to crack this IELTS exam, right? You just
yes.
need to be you just need to be serious. You need to give your daily hour or two for this practice. And speaking, you can do it on regular basis, like with your colleagues, wherever you are working, the environment you are staying in. You can try and speak with in English with the people you are working. So it will help your speaking skills, and also it will help your overall improvement. So just proper practice of 45 days is more than enough to crack this IELTS exam. And whatever you have missed, we are also, this session is also live on YouTube. You can visit our channel on the YouTube, and you can see the video of today's live session and all the sessions that I'm going to conduct on daily basis. So we are always live on YouTube. You can throw questions here. You can throw questions on our video comment box, and we will answer you. Along with that, you are also attached into our WhatsApp group. If you have any issues or any problem related to any section of the IELTS test, you can throw your questions, and I will make sure that we answer you.
Sir, is this the first lecture of this class,
No,
sir?
this is the seventh section of the live sessions. But again, we are starting our fresh batches in which I will give you the practice material as well. So those are going to start very soon, and we are going to enroll many students into those batches as well. And that is again free of cost. We won't charge you anything for the same.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vishal. Anyone else has any question? Okay. We find. So I'm sharing a sample question in the chat box. Just go through those questions, and you can download this image into your computer, and I hope everyone will prepare its answer and can share their recordings with me on our WhatsApp group or anywhere you wish like. So I have given a topic like your hometown or village, and there are 4 questions related to it along with the topic your accommodation and 4 topics with it. So this was asked in the recent IELTS exam, and you can practice, you can record your answers, and then you can share it with me. I hope everyone has got this image. Right? Okay, Ankita. See, in speaking, self-recording plays a very vital role. You will understand your mistakes by listening to your voice again and again. You will easily can analyze yourself, and it will help in the end in your overall speaking. Not just for the IELTS exam, but for your future, for your career. English is seen as the minimum requirement for any job work. If you are planning to work in a multinational company, or if you are planning to work with an if you're planning to have an international career, you must be very clear with your speaking and writing skills.
Okay.
Right. So see, like he's asking you about your hometown or village. His first question is, what kind of place is it? What's the most interesting part of your town village? What kind of jobs do the people in your town village do? Would you say it's a good place to live? So he is asking you about your hometown in 4 different ways, and you need to be smart enough to answer each and every answer question differently. So you need to rephrase again. You need to be smart enough, like the examiner, to rephrase your answers. Although if you have the same data to speak, but there are different ways to speak the same data. So you need to practice this.
Hello.
Yes, Dushyant.
Am I audible?
Yes, Dushyant, you are absolutely audible.
So, should I try to answer this topic, this questions right now, or I
Yes,
have to
it would be
prepare?
great. If you are if you want to volunteer yourself to answer these questions, I would be more than happy, Dushyant. It will definitely help you.
Okay, sure, sure. So I'm just trying. I'm not confident enough to answer,
Right.
but
Dushyant, that is what I want. If you guys are going to try, it will help you and it will help others as well to come up on mic and speak. It will increase your confidence. You are going to an international country, a whole new place where no one is yours. So you need to have these skills to speak in front of the public. You need to have these skills. It's very good that you are taking the initiative. I'm seriously very happy with that. Please go ahead and answer the questions.
Okay. If I talk about my hometown, it's basically a center of India. We can consider geographically, and it comes in the state of the Maharashtra and city known as the Orange City. Basically, this name given to my hometown because it produces the good quality of the oranges, which used for the export purpose as well as our domestic needs. So, if I talk about the kind of the place, this place is in the environmental part very sunny, and if I talk about the most of the interesting part of the town is this town is connected with three states of our India, and it produces varieties of different products as part of the manufacturing purpose, and globally we can use this as a warehouse in the industrial part. And now this is a center of a political politics where means grown started in India, means it's considered as a BJP hometown, and in kind of the job means what type of job people used to do here. Most of the people involved into the agricultural part and also the some part of the retails where the food industry is involved, means FMCG part. And if I means say that a good place to live here, yeah, I may suggest to say that it will be the very good in part of the means to stay here, because also metro and very good infrastructure developed in last 5 years, and moreover it will about to overtake the other metro cities also. If I talk about my accommodation, I used to stay in a rental house only because it gives the versatility to means, move and migrate whatever the places you would like to stay. So, from last 10 years, I have been staying there for my post graduation, for my education and further schooling. And if I live there, I most of the like the fountain and the some of the lake parks and the children's parks is lot of there.
Okay.
Okay, so almost I have done the
Right,
question.
right. Fine, Dushyant. It was a great try, right? So if you keep on doing the same thing again and again, you try and speak on daily basis, it will help you gain confidence. And you are not a bad speaker. You speak very well. You have tried to cover each and every aspect, but you were again and again using the same words. You have used the same words a number of times. Try not doing that. Increase your vocab, work on synonyms, work on learning the synonyms, whatever you know, whatever the basic common words that comes into your speeches. So you can do one thing, you can record your answers, you can re-listen to them. Then you need to understand the basic words that comes with you on every time you try to speak, right? Like the problem with me is I generally say right a lot, so I need to work on that problem. So again, everyone has certain things that comes there into their mind very quickly, and we use those words a lot. So Dushan, you just need to work on that and start speaking with your colleagues, with the people you are living, and it will, in the end, it will help you achieve a greater fluency, and you will be good to go for the IELTS speaking exam. And in general as well, your speaking skills are decent, you just need to sharpen them, right? I'm happy that you took the initiative and answer these questions by your own. I'm really seriously very happy. Anyone else would like to give it a try?
I
Yes, Kavi. So, Kavi, let me ask you a question and then you answer. right?
Okay.
Okay, Kavi, tell me about the neighborhood you live in. Is my question clear, Kavi?
Yes.
Okay, so speak about your neighborhood. Tell me about the neighborhood you live in. It's a general question.
Mm. I live in a great neighborhood. It is a very good place because it has many facilities.
Mhm.
There are many good people in my neighborhood. Uh, it's there is a green park near my house uh, where we can walk or play, and for health it's very good.
Great, great. Well tried. Okay, so these are the basic questions that generally an examiner asks in your speaking exam. The questions will be general. It would be related to you, surrounding you. These are general questions. It can be anything. The examiner can ask you about your family, even he can ask you about your favorite food. What type of food do you eat in the morning? What type of food you eat in the evening? There is nothing you need to learn. You just need to focus on your speaking skills, and there is a set pattern. Like if he'll ask you a question about a neighborhood, if he asks one question about his neighborhood, he will definitely ask you more questions about the same topic. So you need to prepare your mind in order to answer these questions. It is very good to take pause. You don't need to speak too quickly or too slowly. The basic instinct, whatever comes into your mind, you just need to speak that. Right, Kavi? Right, Dushant? And everyone else?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Monica. You want to try as well?
Yes, sir. I would like to try.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What is more popular in your area, fast food restaurants or traditional restaurants?
Basically, I live in a city where uh, traditional restaurants are more popular than the fast food restaurants because people here like to have the basically good healthy food, and that is the reason. And nowadays in our society people are more health conscious. That's why more and more traditional and basic homemade food is also like that.
Okay.
Any, is that okay, sir?
Yeah, it is fine. You in speaking part one, you need to answer in 2-3 lines only, not more than that. For the longer versions, you will get the part two, that is a cue card, in which he'll give you a topic and then you have to think for 1 minute and then you have to give a speech of around 2 minutes. Right? Uh, use limited words, like use answers that are equivalent to 2 or 3 lines, because again, if you speak too much, he's again going to throw you a question that you might have already answered, right? So his job is to make you stuck, but your work is to be smart enough to answer each question in a different way. You use the word basically twice, and that is fine, I believe. But again, try not repeating your word more than once, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, great,
Thank
Monica.
you, sir.
And whenever the question comes which has two options, like a traditional restaurant or a fast food restaurant, you can say that both are famous in my society, but I'm the person who loves to eat at traditional restaurants more, as I'm more of a person who is health conscious, and I generally spread awareness about the health, right? So rather than taking one side, if you try and stay on both the sides, you will have more words to speak. If you get stuck in the traditional food, you can talk about the fast food as well, right?
Yes, sir.
That is just a tip. Either way, you can answer on one particular topic as well. Whatever comes into your mind, whatever is your first instinct, just speak your heart out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I hope everyone is clear with the question types that generally comes in the speaking part one. speaking part 1 act as your first impression to the examiner, and these are the general questions that the examiner is going to ask. In part 2 he'll give you a cue card. In part 3 would be a two-way discussion, like he will cross question you on everything. He will always ask you why this happened, why it does not happen, why you are saying this way, right? What are your viewpoints? While in part 1 he will ask you very simple questions, and you have to answer whatever comes into your mind. So make sure you do the part 1 in the best possible way, because it contains 3 bands out of the 9 bands, and it is very easy to achieve 2.5 or 3 bands in part 1 itself. So it will boost your confidence going forward in Q card and part 3, right? So each and every part of IELTS exam is very crucial, as it will halt your overall band score in one way or the other. Practice well, keep on practicing each and everything, each and every module. And if you come across anything, if any question arises in your mind, feel free to ask me. I'm more than happy to answer you guys. Okay, so that was it from my end for today's session. If you still have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to end this session now. Thank you, Ankita. Same, Ankita, 4 to 5. You can visit our website. I'm going to share the link of our official website here, and you can register yourself for tomorrow's session as well. So this is the link. You can register for the upcoming sessions. I believe the sessions are updated till 31st of January. Okay, then I'm going to end this session. Thank you all for joining. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Bye. Have a nice day.
You too, Kavi.